welcome to the Wareham High School formal commencement ceremony for the class of 2020. I'm Daphne Black, and I'm the president of the class. I'd like to thank our superintendent, Dr. Kimberly Shaberhood, members of the Wareham School Committee, staff of the Wareham Public School System, family, friends, and other guests for being here tonight. And to my fellow classmates, 148 days later, we finally made it. From our random last day of school in March, through a pandemic, and witnessing the Black Lives Matter movement, we are all here together. Our class has always been something different ever since our Minot and Deacon's rivalries back in the day. And now we're a class Wareham High is never going to forget. And not because we're just living through history, but because of the unique individuals that make up our class. Like Kai being our personal hype man, and Joey keeping us entertained during quarantine. We're spreading far and wide, all the way to Tennessee, Georgia, and Louisiana, but also some of us will be right here in New England. Words can't express how proud and happy I am to be a part of a class that is so strong, intelligent, and special in our own ways. I know our high school experience didn't end the way we envisioned it to, but we made the most out of the time we had together. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to serve as your class president, and along with creating memories that will last a lifetime. Please remain standing for the singing of the Star Spangled Banner, which will be sung by Emma, Carl, and James Pinkham.
Wait, did you say centered?
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Marshals, you may now seat the class. I'd now like to introduce the athletic director, Mr. Ed Rodricks, to present the Senior Athletic Awards.
Water, march. Colors, march.
Yeah, once they look at the flags.
Good afternoon. Usually we have a very nice athletic awards ceremony that is held in the cafeteria and auditorium. There's a meal in the cafeteria followed by the award presentation in the auditorium. This year, because of the situation we're in, we had a virtual ceremony. Today, I would like to at least honor the 10 major athletic award winners. These awards are voted on by the coaches. I will announce the award and the student's name. I would like that student to stand and remain standing until all 10 have been announced. The first award is the Female Leadership Award. That goes to Molly Johnson. Molly, would you please stand? The Male Leadership Award goes to Brandon Pham. Brandon, please stand. The Female Unsung Hero Award goes to Abigail Varial. The Male Unsung Hero Award goes to Dominique Lavelle. The Female Sportsmanship Award goes to Natalia Molding. The Male Sportsmanship Award goes to Joshua Flaherty. The Arthur Luce Award, which stands for Dedication, Loyalty, and Citizenship, this goes to Bryce Fernandez. The Joe Caffarello Award, this award goes to a student that has contributed the most to Wareham High School athletics. This goes to Ty Delgado. The Outstanding Senior Female Athlete this year goes to Grace Sherrod. The Outstanding Senior Male Athlete, this goes to Giorno DeCanto. Thank you. I would like a nice round of applause for all our award winners, please. Thank you.
I'd now like to introduce Ms. Ashley Salerno for the scholarships.
All right, since we missed the senior academic awards, we'd just like to recognize the seniors who won scholarships. Montana Allen, the Greater New Bedford Workforce Investment Board. Abigail Burial, the Wareham Community Associates Dick England Memorial Scholarship. The Wareham New Bedford Lodge of Elks number 73 Scholarship. The Wareham Police Association Scholarship. And the William A. Flaherty Senior Memorial Scholarship. I'm going to need to breathe in between these, so. Next we have Jasmine Black. She has been awarded the Grace Swifts Nye and Alfred Gibb Nye Scholarship, the Leonardo Miglori Memorial Scholarship, the R.D. Stillman Memorial Fund and Corporation Scholarship, the Tanya Borges Wareham High School DECA Memorial Scholarship, the Wareham High School Alumni Association Scholarship, and the Wareham High School Student Council Scholarship. We have Emily Ann Bolia. She has been awarded the American Legion Wareham Unit 220 Nursing Scholarship. We have Rihanna Bonner. She has been awarded Onset's Women's Club Scholarship and the Sandra Castellito Deacus Memorial Scholarship. We have Brianna Borden, the 80 Makepeace Company Scholarship and the Greater New Bedford Workforce Investment Board. Can we give them a round? We have Jordan Bumpus, the Lucille Davis Memorial Scholarship, the Mary Jane Pillsbury Memorial Scholarship, the Trey Miranda Memorial Scholarship, and the Wareham High School Alumni Association Scholarship in memory of Bradford Joubert. We have Stephen Calderola, the Wareham New Bedford Lodge of Elks number 73 Scholarship, and the Wareham Police Association Scholarship. We have Grace Serrato with the Mark Anthony Salerno Jr. Memorial Scholarship, the Midge Roby Memorial Scholarship, the Theodore H. Barth Scholarship, the Wareham Community Associates Leon Davidson Memorial Scholarship, the Wareham Girls Softball Association Scholarship, the Wareham High School Student Athletic Scholarship, and the Wareham Police Association Scholarship. Kelsey Connolly has been awarded the American Legion Wareham Unit 220 Americanism Scholarship. Erica Cormier, the Louis F. Fischetti Memorial Scholarship. And we have Kayla Cruz with the Krista Lisier Memorial Scholarship, the Onset Cape Verdean Festival Association and Corporation Scholarship, and the Ruth Samito Gomes Memorial Scholarship. Can we give them a round of applause? Kai Delgado has been awarded the American Legion Auxiliary Wareham Unit 220 Henry Hawes Scholarship and the Dobie Franklin Unsung Hero Scholarship. Corino DeCanto, the 2020 Cape Cod Community College Presidential High School Scholarship, and also the Wareham Education Association Scholarship. Jarrett Fernandez has been awarded the John T. Galligan Scholarship, the Wareham High School Alumni Association Scholarship, and the Wareham Police Association Scholarship. I can hear myself across town. Emma Fitzgerald, the John T. Galligan Scholarship, the Sean C. Andrade Memorial Scholarship, the Tanya Borges Wareham High School DECA Memorial Scholarship, the Wareham New Bedford Lodge of Elks No. 73 Scholarship, and the Wareham Youth Soccer Club Incorporation Fair Play Award. Josh Flaherty has been awarded the Danielle DiGenario Labby Memorial Scholarship, the Midge Roby Memorial Scholarship, the National Catholic College Admission Association Scholarship, these are mouthfuls, the Theodore H. Barr Scholarship, the Juan Kinko Rod and Gun Club Cecil G. Foote Jr. Memorial Scholarship, and the Wareham Youth Soccer Club Incorporation Fair Play Award. Woo. And we have Brian Gallagher with the John T. Galligan Scholarship and the Midge Roby Memorial Scholarship. Please give them a round of applause. Jeffrey Goodman has been awarded the Onset Cape Verdean Festival Association and Corporation Scholarship. Ariana Halprin, the John T. Galligan Scholarship. Jocelyn Hendricks, the American Legion Wareham Unit 220 Music Scholarship. The Krista Baptiste Patterson Memorial Scholarship, and the Midge Roby Memorial Scholarship. Molly Johnson has been awarded the Kiwanis Club of Bourne Wareham Scholarship, the Midge Roby Memorial Scholarship, the R.D. Stillman Memorial Fund Incorporation Scholarship, the Ronald L. Bumpus Memorial Scholarship, the Ruth Samito Gomes Memorial Scholarship, the Sid Reed Memorial Scholarship, the Theodore H. Barth Scholarship, the Wareham Community Associates Sherman Gleason MD Scholarship, the Wareham Police Association Scholarship, and the Wareham Youth Soccer Club Incorporation Fair Play Award. Amani Jones, the Leonard C. Lopes Memorial Scholarship, Jason Klemp, the John B. Engel and Agina F. Engel Memorial Scholarship, Jory Kyle, the American Legion Wareham Unit 220 Good Citizenship Award. That was a messy one. John B. Engel and Agina F. Engel Memorial Scholarship, the Ruth Samito Gomes Memorial Scholarship, and the Wareham Community Associates Dana C. Keys Memorial Scholarship. Please give them a round of applause. Dominic LaBelle has been awarded the Cape Cod 5 Laptop Award, Niccolo Lembo Volpe, the Theodore H. Barth Scholarship, and the Wareham Community Television Scholarship. Julianne Matthews has been awarded the Krista Baptiste Patterson Memorial Scholarship, the Midge Roby Memorial Scholarship, and the Onset Cape Verdean Festival Association Incorporation Scholarship. I'm still going to live. The Prince Henry Society of Mass Incorporation, the Stoic First Fed Scholarship, the Ruth Samito Gomes Memorial Scholarship, the Tanya Borges Wareham High School DECA Memorial Scholarship, the Theodore H. Barr Scholarship, the Trey Miranda Memorial Scholarship, the Wareham Community Associates Wayne Peterson Memorial Scholarship, the Wareham Education Association Scholarship, the Wareham New Bedford Lodge of Elks No. 73 Scholarship, and the Wareham Police Association Scholarship. Whew. Yeah. Natalia Molden, the American Legion Auxiliary Wareham Unit 220 Grace M. Collins Scholarship, the Patricia M. Collins Scholarship for School Leaders, the Ruth Samito Gomes Scholarship, Tanya Borges Wareham High School DECA Memorial Scholarship, the Theodore H. Barth Scholarship, Wareham Athletic Association Scholarship, the Wareham Education Association Scholarship, and the Wareham Police Association Scholarship. Brendan Pham, the Wareham High School Key Club Scholarship. Ariana Rodriguez, the Viking Theater Company Scholarship Award. Joseph Silva, the Onset Cape Cod Festival Association Incorporation Scholarship. Isabella Velikavich. Did I say it right? All right. Buddy Carlson, Wareham Athletic Association. The Chris Alicia Memorial Scholarship. The Ruth Samito Gomes Memorial Scholarship. And the Tanya Borges Wareham High School DECA Memorial Scholarship. 2 more kids. Lucas Watkins, the Patricia M. Cullen Scholarship for School Leaders. The Wareham Community Associates Bill Atwood Memorial Scholarship. The Wareham Education Association Scholarship. Wareham Historical Society. The Wareham Police Association Scholarship. And the William A. Flaherty Senior Memorial Scholarship. And last, we have Eric Zine with the Wareham Community Associates, Walter E. Longmore Memorial Scholarship, and the Wareham Police Association Scholarship. Congratulations, seniors. I'd like to introduce one of the assistant principals, Kim Kavicki, to read the names of the class of the 2020 Gold Scholars.
The Gold Scholar Awards are the most prestigious academic awards presented to students. They are awarded to the top 10 academically ranked students in the class. Gold Scholars, when I call your name, please stand to be recognized and remain standing until all 10 names have been called. In alphabetical order, the class of 2020 Gold Scholars are Grace Serrato, Jarrett Fernandez, Emma Fitzgerald, Joshua Flaherty, Brian Gallagher, Jocelyn Hendricks, Molly Johnson, Niccolo Lembo Volpe, Julianne Matthews, and Natalia Molding. Congratulations to our class of 2020 Gold Scholars.
I would now like to introduce the class of 2020 salutatorian, Niccolo Lembo Volpe.
Thank you, Jasmine. Do you know what's so great about giving a speech? Neither do I. Over 4 years at Wareham High School, I've been able to get to know a lot of teachers personally, so most people know how much I absolutely dread public speaking. I was procrastinating writing this speech until basically the day it was due. I kind of wore out the backspace key on my laptop. The toughest part for me was the beginning, because how can I possibly start off a speech that's supposed to summarize 4 years of amazing life experiences into just 3 minutes? And then it kind of hit me that having too many wonderful things to say about Wareham High School was probably the best problem I could have. Nobody ever thinks back about their time in high school and goes, oh, if only I hadn't had such a great time. I was going to practice the speech over and over again in front of my family, kind of stopping after every sentence to make corrections, and then repeat myself for my dad so he could turn on CNN and go, what? But why should I have to? I shouldn't feel less comfortable in front of everyone here than in the comfort of my own home. Your family isn't necessarily just the people you go home to every day after you give your temporary ID back to Miss Sinelli. It's the people who make you feel most appreciated. And I feel like the community at Wareham High School is my second family, especially if you're in drama club, in which case you do actually spend more time with GV than with your actual family. You can laugh now that it's over. But let's talk a second about what this all really means. When you graduate, everyone tells you that you're starting the next chapter of your life and you're getting ready to go out into the real world. And while this is a momentous occasion, I don't think it's fair to say that this is the beginning of our real lives. A lot of people here today, including myself, have already had to deal with a lot of issues like health issues, financial issues, loss of a family member, and what other complications life has to offer, like the coronavirus. That's all very real, and saying life is difficult would be almost as meaningless as the thesis of every IB English paper I wrote at 2 a.m. But every day we showed up to class, walked down the halls, and were on the job to do the job, we didn't really face a single challenge alone. The help from the caring guidance counselors, the passionate instructors, the deans, the student council, it truly moved me. I remember how loved I felt when I was even at my personal worst and could barely walk. No matter what each of us does after we leave school grounds this afternoon, we've been prepared by it by the overwhelming support of the Wareham school system. No two students' paths through life are identical, but each one is exciting, meaningful, and impactful. Our celebrated individuality combined with our hometown pride is what makes this community excellent. Each of us has so much to look forward to after today. Personally, I'm excited to use bathrooms that don't open like hotel rooms. But what opens these opportunities for us is this school. Think of all the accomplishments you've had during your time here. Some of my proudest memories are getting to meet students from around the world through IB classes, experiencing the college environment through dual enrollment courses, and most prominently, passing Mr. Wilson's class. To quote our but it's true, we're going to use what we learned here for the rest of our lives. And the learning isn't going to stop here. At Wareham High School, we were taught how to make the most of our experiences and improve upon ourselves in and out of the classroom. That's not a mentality that's easily lost. Wareham students are the kind of students who put in the extra hours, who help their friends in need, and who value the lessons that they're taught. Because each hour worked, each friend lent a helping hand, and each new lesson learned is one more step forward towards a future where we can give back to the school that provided us with so much. I am so excited to start the next step of what's already begun at this remarkable school. Walking away truly isn't going to be easy. I'm going to miss hearing it over the loudspeaker every morning, so I'll say it one last time. Have a Wareham Viking Day. And now for a speech that's actually good, I would like to introduce the valedictorian of the class of 2020, Grace Serrato.
I didn't realize I'd have to go on after that. Wow. Good afternoon, teachers and staff, board and faculty, families and friends, and most importantly, the Wareham High School graduating class of 2020. Welcome. It's truly an honor to be able to stand in front of you all today. Before I begin, I would just like to express my gratitude for all of the people who have helped me get to this point. I want to thank my parents for going above and beyond, and not just keeping me alive, although that was appreciated too. I would like to thank my teachers for their continuous support and encouragement and all the homework. I want to thank my coaches for their devotion to my development outside of the classroom, even if it meant nearly killing me sometimes. And on behalf of all of the graduates, I would like to thank everyone here in support of us as we embark on this new chapter of our lives. I owe my greatest thanks to my family and friends, teachers, community members, and God for helping me to become the student and person that I am today. Now, I'd like to take just a few minutes to tell you a little bit about our class's journey. In the words of Dr. Seuss, sometimes you never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. I don't think any of us truly appreciated how valuable our time was at Wareham High School until it all came to a screeching halt. Just 6 months ago, we were receiving the definitive news that no, we would not be returning to school for the last few months of our senior year. So there we were, sitting at home, thinking back to all of the times we'd wished we'd get that early morning phone call, or we'd hoped that we would finally receive that Twitter update that Mr. Palladino had canceled school, and we wished we hadn't taken it all for granted. And I know I speak for most, if not all of you, when I say I would give anything for just one more day. I'd give anything to sit in Mr. Brown's hot, stuffy classroom cutting open cow eyeballs just one more time. I would give anything to walk over to the weight room for gym in 10-degree weather in a blizzard because we don't skip yoga days here. Just one more time. I would give anything to have back just one more day of our senior year. And yet, while we got through 12 years of school up until this point, just to miss out on arguably the best 3 months, I want you all to know how incredibly proud we should be of ourselves. After all, we did it. Despite the odds, despite having to take up a completely new schedule, despite having to work through endless distractions at home, despite having to travel to the Matrix and back just to complete an assignment, we did it. And while we'll never get those last 3 months with each other back, I never want you to forget how valuable your time as a part of this school community truly was. Now, I don't want to spend too much time speaking on the pandemic because we can't change all that we've missed out on as a result of it. But it would be an injustice not to recognize everything we've accomplished as a class and as a community in light of the current circumstances. I mean, the fact that we're here with each other today is a testament to how much our school and our community cares for us. Without the dedication and love of our teachers, staff members, and community, we would not get to commemorate our high school careers in the presence of one another today. Without them, we wouldn't have experienced our virtual walk through the hallways of the elementary and middle schools. And without them, we wouldn't have been able to parade through town with our families and friends cheering us on. So if you could all please join me in giving a huge thank you to all of you who made the end of our senior year so special. So despite everything that has happened over the last 6 months, I'm beyond grateful that we were given this opportunity to experience this milestone event in the presence of one another, from 6 feet apart, of course. And while we will inevitably go down in history as the Corona class, I don't think that's what defines us. Rather, I think it's how we responded to this unprecedented situation as a class and as a community as a whole that defines us. And now, before I go into detail about what I mean by that, it's important that I explain to you just a small portion of my personal story. Don't worry, I'll try not to bore you too much. Growing up, I attended a small private school from kindergarten to 8th grade. And so, as you can imagine, it was a little intimidating, leaving my class of 6 to join a class of 96. Having experienced private schooling my entire life, I really didn't know what to expect when the time came for me to move on to high school. All I really had to go off of was the stereotypes, and of course you hear the horror stories, and people tell you that high school was the worst 4 years of their life, and all you can really do is keep your head down and prepare for the absolute worst. So that's really what I did. I prepared myself to simply survive the next 4 years. And now that my time here comes to a close, there are just a few words that come to mind when I reflect on my experience at Wareham High School. Boy, was I wrong. I can say with absolute certainty, as I'm sure many of the students can agree, that I have never been a part of a more accepting and supportive community as the one here in Wareham. Reiterating my previous statement, I think it's how we responded to our current situation as a class and as a community that truly defines us. While stay-at-home advisories and social distancing measures may have kept us apart during these last few months, students, teachers, and community members were anything but distant. The constant outpouring of support during this time not only shows how close-knit our school community really is, but has been a good indicator of what being a student at Wareham High School is always like. It's impossible to name just one aspect of our school's community that makes us the accepting and supportive group that we are. Each and every one of us has our own unique story of how and what we've been impacted by during our time here. Everyone's definition of community is different, and while I could never possibly name all the many ways that students, teachers, and staff contribute to this value at Wareham, I'm going to identify just a few. Maybe for you, community is in the attitudes of the teachers. Maybe it's walking into Mr. Brown's class and knowing that his jokes are going to put a smile on your face after you've had a bad day. Or maybe it's Miss Clark bringing you by her house on your driving hour and letting you pet her goats. Maybe it's Miss Oman or Mr. Franco sharing their snacks with you when you haven't had anything to eat. Or maybe it's Miss Anastasia's hashtags, because clearly that is the only productive way to communicate with people from our generation. And yes, Miss Anastasia, I do agree that reading is #cool and #healthy like broccoli. Perhaps community to you is in the sports or clubs that you participate in. Maybe it's Mr. Roth's devotion to the music program and seeing you develop your talents. Or it's acting on stage alongside your fellow peers, knowing that they're going to have your back. Maybe it's your basketball coach and seeing how determined he is to watch you and your team succeed. Or perhaps it's your time on the unified track and field team, making memories that you'll never forget. Or maybe for you, community is in the big things. It's the basketball game that was dedicated to Q and his family to show our support to them. Maybe it's a full gym absolutely bursting at the seams and everybody in blue from head to toe because every student, teacher, and member of this community wanted to be there to support and encourage him. Or maybe for you, community is in the little things. It's the moments where students in your math group took turns raising your hands to ask a question so that no one's arm fell off. And yes, it really does feel like that after a while, I promise. Or maybe it was getting back from a gruesome 2-mile Pinehurst run on a Saturday morning, and despite how tired you were, running back anyway to meet the people who were still left to make sure they had someone to cross the end line with them by their side. And maybe to you, community is all of these things, because it is impossible to pick just one that has had a lasting impact. Every single one of us has had the honor of experiencing the sense of community firsthand, and we've all played an active role in the forwarding of those values that it entails. So when people ask us where we grew up or where we came from, we should be proud to say a community where everyone is treated equally. We should be proud to say a town where its residents support one another no matter what. We should be proud to say a school where no one is judged by where they came from or how much money they have or for the color of their skin. We should be proud to say Wareham, because while it may have been our circumstances that made us a community, it was our attitudes that made us a family. So I encourage all of us, if there is one thing that we take with us from our time here at Wareham into our futures, let it be that sense of welcoming acceptance and support that has played such a vital role in each one of our lives. So as we move on to this next chapter and leave this school and town that has played such a significant role in who we have become, continue to spread that spirit of acceptance and support to all those around you, and never lose that sense of community that defines who we are. Thank you.
Good evening. I am Joshua Flaherty, and I am the treasurer of the class of 2020. Mr. Palladino has served in the role of principal here at Wareham High School since 2010. Mr. Palladino received his Bachelor's of Science in Health Education from Springfield College and his Master's degree in Education Leadership from Cambridge College. In addition, he received his certification in administration from Bridgewater State University's Advanced Graduate Studies program. Mr. Palladino has been a part of Wareham Public Schools for 27 years in many capacities. He was a classroom teacher for many years and has served as assistant principal of the high school and principal of the Wareham Cooperative School and the Wareham Night School program. Whether as a coach, a teacher, or an administrator, Mr. Palladino's dedication to the Wareham Public Schools has always been something we can count on, and for that we are grateful. It is with great respect that I introduce our principal, Mr. Scott Palladino.
Before we get started, I just want to thank a few people for making graduation possible here tonight. The Wareham Public School Fields and Grounds crew, the Wareham High School custodians, the Town of Wareham Board of Health, the Class of 2020 Advisor, Ms. Medina, the Senior Class Dean, Ms. Sinelli, Wareham Public Schools Superintendent, Dr. Shaver Hood, and Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Schwam, my fellow administrators from the Wareham Public Schools, my fellow principals from the Wareham Public Schools, the Wareham Public School staff, Wareham High School staff, the school committee members from the Wareham Public School, parents and families, and most importantly, the Wareham High School Class of 2020. This will certainly be one of the most memorable graduations we have had at Wareham High School. Our world got turned upside down on Friday, March 13th, when we heard the announcement that school would initially be canceled for 1 week. Then on Sunday, March 15th, the governor canceled school for 3 weeks. On March 25th, we learned that school would be closed through May 4th. And finally, on April 21st, we learned that school would be closed for the year. This was tough news for all, but certainly for the seniors, who have been looking forward to their traditional culminating activities that happened during the spring of their senior year. I won't rehash all that was missed, but I was very excited when we surveyed the students, and 80% of the students wanted to hold off on graduation on June 5th, bypass the virtual and graduation parade. Obviously, you guys made the right decision here today. In June, we held the virtual scholarship night announcing the Wareham High School scholarships, and today we reiterated those. Initially, we gave out over $225,000 in local scholarships to our graduating seniors. I'm happy to report the number has actually increased to $250,000. I want to thank all the local scholarship providers for their generosity. The class of 2020 is going to be remembered in so many different ways beyond COVID-19. 38% of the Wareham High School class of 2020 graduated with an A average or better. 92% were involved in at least one club or team, and most held down part-time jobs. All of you have a well-thought-out plan for the future. 78% of you will be going on to further education in 2- or 4-year institutions. 8% of you will be moving on to the workforce, and 14% are still trying to figure it out. There's nothing wrong with that. I was always excited to see all the students on this stage at after-school activities, at DECA competitions, on the auditorium stage, in the gym, on the field, on the track, and in the rink. We all wish you could have had spring concerts, spring musical, and spring sports. You've represented Wareham High School, the town, your family, yourselves very well. For that, I want to thank you. The class has certainly left a mark on Wareham High School. We'll never forget how you carried yourselves in the school and throughout the COVID-19 shutdown. I appreciate all the surveys you filled out, all the Zoom meetings you attended. I want to thank you all for being great role models for all the underclassmen at Wareham High School to emulate. You have left big shoes to fill in so many ways, but I am confident that through your leading by example, the underclassmen at Wareham High School will understand how things are done. I hope you look back on your years at Wareham High School with fond memories that will last a lifetime. You all have been motivated to work hard to make better futures for yourselves. I was driving down the road a few months ago, and I saw a sign on one of our seniors' front lawns, and I'd like to read this to you. I usually end my speech with a quote, but I thought this was appropriate. And it said, Seniors 2020. Some have a story, some have a legacy. We had a pandemic. Top that. Congratulations to Wareham High School class of 2020.
Good evening. My name is Jocelyn Hendricks, and I'm the Vice President of the Class of 2020. Superintendent of Wareham Public Schools, Dr. Kimberly Shaver-Hood, has been part of the Wareham family for over 7 years. Dr. Shaver-Hood earned her bachelor's degree from Franklin University, a master's degree in secondary education from Indiana University, a master's degree in school counseling from Butler University, a master's degree in educational administration from Widener University, and her doctorate from Northeastern University. She has worked tirelessly for the students and families of the Wareham Public Schools, especially in the unprecedented times we are currently in. It is with great honor that I introduce Dr. Kim Shaver-Hood.
Good afternoon. Members of the school committee, Mr. Palladino, honored guests, faculty, staff, family, friends, and members of the class of 2020. It is indeed a great pleasure to welcome you to the graduation ceremony today. When our school year began, none of us could have predicted the course this year would take. Prior to this year, some of my most anxious moments would be, how much snow are we going to get, and are we going to have a snow day? I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, I would love to go back to that time. I would venture to say that we've expressed and experienced many different emotions: sadness, anger, fear, and disappointment during the past 6 months. Prom, honor night, senior activities canceled. And never before as a society have we faced so much uncertainty of what's next. The unknown encompasses our thoughts and our feelings. We simply do not know. But what I know with absolute certainty is kindness exists in Wareham. The number of people who have stepped forward these past 6 months is nothing short of simply amazing. Yard signs were made for you. We miss you videos made by teachers and staff. Words of support from the community members. Kind actions of family, friends, and strangers. And I hope this has eased some of the pain and disappointment that you've experienced. These kindnesses were not recruited. People stepped forward and offered, and it snowballed from one act to another. An opportunity presented itself, and the acts of kindness just poured forward. It was amazing to watch, and our thanks goes out to all who stepped forward and demonstrated kindness. It is my hope, as you leave here today, to be aware of the opportunities you have to share acts of kindness. I do not know what lies ahead, but I do know kindness makes our world a better place. And as you look back on your senior year, I realize you will not forget the events and what did not happen. But what I hope you also remember are the many acts of kindness demonstrated by family, friends, and strangers. And as you move forward, you too will have opportunities to demonstrate kindness to others. If you hesitate and are not sure, remember how you felt. Then go ahead and act by giving this gift to another. As you leave our district as a student, please bring the best version of yourself with you wherever you go. Be kind, be generous, be unafraid. Congratulations, job well done. Members of the school committee, honored guests, family and friends, on behalf of the Wareham High School, I certify the members of the class of 2020 have met all graduation requirements set forth by the Wareham Public School District and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. It is my honor to present to you the members of the graduating class of 2020. Congratulations.
And now I'm going to present the names of the class of 2020. Grace Elizabeth Serrato. Niccolo Antonio Lembo Volpe. Emma Rose Fitzgerald. Jasmine Han Black. Isabella Louise Valitkevich. Joshua Michael Flaherty.
Real good friend.
Molly Rose Johnson. Jocelyn Ashley Hendricks. Brian Robert Gallagher. Julianne Nicole Matthews. Kai Jordan Delgado. Rayana Sharon Bonner. Avani Rain Montesino. Kyle Thomas Duffy. Brandon Pham. Natalia Lynn Molding.
Yeah, with the 2 girls on the team.
Isaac Ali Salim. Erica Lynn Cormier. Quirino Bartholomew Docanto III. Jory Lynn Kyle. Alex Jacob DeMarco. Asia Christine Diaz. Siler Reese King. Brooke Ashley Boucher. Alexis Jade Lynch. Jackson Austin Cody.
Adriana Elizabeth Santos. Emily Ann Marie Folia. Aziza Gabriel Victoria. Christopher Lee Eldridge. Edward James Clements. Brianna Teresa Gordon. Joshua Michael Clancy. Montana Mary Allen. Sarah Marie DeLuca. Gilherm Nunes J-Lo. Tiara Marie Duarte. Tiara Amani Fernandez. Dominic Michael LaBelle. Joshua Bryce Vargas. Desmond Sharif Powell. Destin Ron Haywood Gomes. Bryce Scott Fernandez.
Sotero Diaz Rivas. Amari Sanea Ellenwood. Christina Marie Pritchard. Alexis Joy Perry. Trinity Lane Donnell.
Is that real?
Caitlin Louise Fisher. Kyles James Gilpatrick. Kelsey Jean Connolly. Landon D. Brito Dower. Rakeem Sharif Jackson. Layla Yvonne Foote. Jada Sarah Cooper. Ariana Joyce Rodriguez. Imani Gianna Jessie Jones. Olivia Hope McInerney. Eliza Rufino Wombolt.
We also know him.
Jarrett Ryan Fernandez. Isaac Ivan Pimentel. Napoleon Francisco Barboso.
Oh, you went down the cave, didn't you? Oh, yeah. Both of you guys went
Abigail
down the cave.
Elizabeth Ferrialt. Kayla Leanne Cruz.
The only important one's Olivia.
Chloe Elizabeth Walker Benoit. Simone Susan Samito Gomes.
Back to front. No, front to back. Front to back, yeah. There's one row on both sides.
Jeremy Ralph Smith.
Yeah.
Riley Elizabeth Bridges.
That's totally you.
Ariana Lee Halprin. Brendan James Griffin. Stephen Gerard Calderola. Lucas Hunter Watkins. Jeffrey Matthew Goodman. Jan Rong. Jason William Klump. Jason Joseph Andrade. Isabel Grace Ellis. Joseph James Sylvia. Jordan Kathleen Bumpus. William Matthew Cotel. Darren Michael Barros. Nathaniel Noel Alarkin. Dustin William Buckingham. Jordan Anthony Boucher Swedco. Bradford Allen Ness. Hunter Trevor Schofield. Kiaralis Suarez. Stephen Philip Alexander. Gianna Tessa Fonseca. Dennis Adam Westgate. Haley Amber Goldman. Rory James Leiden.
Never mind, there's two. Class officers or the.
And last but never least, Eric George Zine.
There's people. I think all the officers are going to the voting. Yeah, there's 5 of them.
Yeah. That's what he was watching. I'm like, okay, I just saw this picture of me and you in the picture. And they were watching it live.
Yeah, I wasn't going to hold it sit there for 2 hours over this one.
Hi, I'm Julia Matthews, and I'm the secretary of the senior class. The class of 2020 officers would like to present a gift to our Dean, Mrs. Sinelli, and our advisor, Mrs. Medina. We would like to thank you both for your devotion to our class. Even with the tough love from Sinelli, we know you've always had our best interests at heart. To Mrs. Medina, we appreciate you beyond belief for sticking by our side through these crazy 4 years. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mariana Bonner, the social chair of the senior class. All remaining class funds will be used for a welcome sign at the main office of the high school, other signage throughout the building, and repairing the message board under the school sign of Viking Drive. Thank you.
Dr. Shaver Hood, members of the school committee, staff, families, and graduates, I attest to the fact that the students seated before you have all met the rigorous local and state requirements to graduate here tonight. Will the class of 2020 please rise? Before we get to the movement of the tassels, just a quick announcement. Families, if you could stay here after the recessional, we will be dismissing by rows, so if you could please stay put until all the graduates leave the facility. We'll be asking you to leave by rows to make sure we're socially distancing. The tradition of the movement of the tassels symbolizes the transition from candidate to graduate. I will now ask the Wareham High School class of 2020 to move their tassels from the right side to the left side. I now present to you the Wareham High School graduating class of 2020. Congratulations.